We live in one of the best places in the world. And today on The Express, we're going to meet some of the movers and shakers that help make it so. On today's show, competitive yoga.
A lot of people are actually surprised that there are yoga competitions.
People put on the goggles and they go like, wow, this is insane. How is this even possible?
Recon ski goggles.
I want really people to see what I can do and where I'm coming from.
Designer condos.
This is a great thing that you're doing.
Wigs for Kids. See that and more local expression. Welcome to The Express. I'm Johanna Ward at Lonsdale Quay in North Vancouver. Our first story is going to show us a different side of yoga. It's not just about finding your zen, it can also be about finding your zone. Recently, Vancouver hosted the 8th annual Hatha Yoga Championships.
No, this isn't Cirque du Soleil. This is advanced yoga.
They can just do things that are, you can't even believe it.
A lot of people are actually surprised that there are yoga competitions.
This is where Vancouver's best yoga athletes come to compete.
Each year we pick out the top 2 males and females, also youth category, to go to LA this year for the World Championship.
Competitors have 3 minutes to go through the poses.
They have 5 mandatory postures to do, and they have 2 optional postures.
For my optional postures, I'm going to be doing full camel pose and cock pose. Full camel is it's a backward bend going all the way back and putting your head in between your feet. And cock pose is sitting, going from lotus position and balancing on your arms.
Ryan Federer won last year's competition. He says it's not so much about flexibility, but staying still and controlling your nerves in front of a panel of judges.
Just concentrating on what I'm doing, you know, being in the moment.
I went up and stood on stage and the judges are like 2 feet away from you, so any little wobble, they actually see it.
Jennifer Hanover placed second last year. She says she's excited about the push to make yoga an Olympic sport.
The kind of exposure that yoga could get as an Olympic sport could do really incredible things for future generations.
Each year we have to step up our rules and regulations to fit their regime. Soon it will be a demonstration to the Olympics.
And that's no surprise based on the Olympic-sized competition right here in the Lower Mainland. I'm Bianca Solterbeck in Vancouver for The Express.
It's no surprise that yoga's on its way to becoming an Olympic sport. It's gaining in popularity every year. They say about 2 million Canadian adults practice yoga, which is up 50% from 2003. Amazing. Now, another area that's very competitive, cutting-edge technology. And one local company is leading the way. They've built the first ever pair of ski goggles with GPS built in.
Imagine carving through the untouched snow of BC's glorious backcountry, while your speed, distance, altitude, and exact location is tracked and displayed in real time right in the corner of your eye.
We always get surprised when people put on the goggles and they go like, wow, this is insane. How is this even possible?
It's possible because engineers at Recon Instruments have managed to cram a vast array of cutting-edge components into a very small space on your face.
300 components or so with processors, many sensors in all different directions and axes, a pressure sensor, temperature, time, there's memory components, video chain, optics. There's quite a few different disciplines involved in the product.
The total weight, 257 grams, no more than your average pair of ski goggles. And it's built to survive under the most extreme conditions. Now the question is, who needs all this information?
We get a lot of input from people wanting to know their speed, wanting to know if they can clear a gap jump, and just general awareness. It's like taking away the dashboard in your car. How do you know really how you're doing out there, except for the seat of your pants? So we're giving these information systems to the skier snowboarder.
Including Canada's elite.
Definitely in training environments, we see this as a huge benefit, that you get that readout instantly. So if you correct your technique just a little bit, you'll immediately see the impact.
And these are just the first generation of GPS-enabled goggles. Soon you'll be able to connect these wirelessly to your smartphone using Bluetooth technology. And that means with the optional camera, this entire experience can be shared instantly. And that's not all.
In terms of future technology, we have to shrink this into a sunglass version, and then you open up other opportunities, endurance sports, but also what you're talking about in the leisure segment, as we say it, being able to navigate around town with a pair of sunglasses that has a head-mounted display built into them.
So in the future, everyone could be wearing a pair of dashboard shades. I'm Chung in Vancouver for The Express.
You could own your own pair of those goggles. They start at $430, and you can get details at the website reconinstruments.com. You're watching The Express, and we've got more creative types who are leading the way coming up.
After the break,
we decided we wanted young designers, people that hadn't had a lot of experience.
BC's Best Young Designer Contest.
I was really inspired by clouds and the sky and nature.
Charlie Brown, the musical. You're watching local TV on The Express.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by...
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Johanna Ward.
Dear Children's Wish Foundation of Canada, thank you for sending me Rory the Lion. That means I'm going to get my wish, and that makes me really, really happy. Yesterday he was sad, but I told him it's okay, Rory. There are only 2 more needles until my wish. I will send you pictures from the top of the Rocky Mountains. Love, Emily.
Imagine the difference a wish can make. Click on childrenswish.ca and give today.
Welcome back to The Express in North Vancouver at Lonsdale Quay. Now recently, a new development, Morgan Crossing in South Surrey, held a contest called BC's Best Young Designer. The applicants were given a budget and free rein to design the interior of a condo. And here's your chance to get involved. We're going to have a look at some of the creations, and then you can vote for your favorite.
Morgan Crossing is a new residential and commercial development in South Surrey, running a contest called BC's Best Young Designer.
We decided we wanted young designers, people that hadn't had a lot of experience, to give them a chance to show what they could do. And we decided to open it up to everybody, so you didn't have to be a trained designer or have a design designation, because we thought there's some people that have always loved the design world, they just didn't have a chance to show their stuff.
Recent design graduate Johanna Ward was one of 6 finalists chosen to decorate a brand new suite at Morgan Crossing.
My concept for this whole space was very nature inspired, and it was more of a picture that I had in my head of a snowy cabin, maybe on the West Coast. That's where I got my textures and colors and most of my ideas from. Just seeing the final result is the most gratifying thing for me, seeing everything finished. So I'm very excited, and I'm excited to do it again and again.
The finalists were given a very limited budget and only a month to decorate their space.
Doing a 2-bedroom suite, we had $12,000. So it's a bit of a snug budget, I would say, but it forces you to get really creative. My favorite is the dining room. Yeah, the bold orange stripes and the gold finishes, and it's fun. It's a bit unexpected, and especially, with the kitchen and the other walls being a bit subdued and playing off the darker charcoals in the places. I think it works.
Another finalist in BC's Best Young Designer contest is Penelope Sloan.
I was really inspired by clouds and the sky and nature, gemstones and the beach. I love the chairs that I found. They totally represent exactly what I wanted to evoke, the feeling of, elegance and a little bit of luxury, but nothing too formal. I wanted it to be a comfortable space.
Daniel Maloche is the only male finalist and kept to his budget by doing all the painting himself.
I've always been a creative, artistic person, and I just really like to, pull fabrics. I really like to pull all these different things and put it all together, because you really don't see the end result until the end. Like, I can see it in my head, but everyone will, you'll see like a little piece of everything, and you don't see it until the end, and they're like, oh, it really actually comes together, and it's really cool, the end result. I actually started with the fabric in the den there. It's actually a striped fabric, and then I worked off that, and I worked it onto the walls, and then I pulled all the teals and the yellows out of it, and just kind of, I really like one cohesive space. So I kind of tied each room into each other with their colors. I just really want to get recognized as a designer in the industry. I just want really people to see what I can do and where I'm coming from and where I can really go.
And BC's Best Young Designer contest will help all of the finalists do just that. In Surrey, I'm Kendall Harris for The Express.
The website is bestyoungdesigner.com, and you have until February 20th to cast your vote. You're welcome to go down to the Morgan Crossing Presentation Centre in South Surrey to get a better look. Now we've got a super inspiring story from Richmond up next, this time with a 4-year-old girl who's setting an amazing example of compassion. It's also a story that might change the way you think about your next haircut.
I got a lot of hair.
You got a lot of hair. Plenty to spare, right?
Right.
Good girl. I'm really proud of you.
4-year-old Ashka is getting her first haircut. And by doing so, she's able to change the life of a little girl.
Are you excited?
Yes.
And look at Bun. Is Bun excited too?
Yeah.
Wigs for Kids has been running 6 years. This is going into our 6th year. We're a program out of BC Children's Hospital that provides wigs for kids who have lost their hair to cancer or other serious illnesses. Your hair is so beautiful, and it's going to be even prettier.
We've always wanted to give back to BC Children's. She was born at BC Women's, so it's one of these things where we've always been waiting for the right opportunity, for something to do that's going to give back.
This is a great thing that you're doing for Wigs for Kids. We really appreciate the support.
Ashka having long hair, it's something quick, it's easy to do. It may sound really simple, but I mean the benefits it gives the kids that receive the wigs is huge.
For the Benning family, the cut was perfect timing.
Her hair is very long, yeah, and she got the nickname Quachi because the hair is all over the place, all the time. And it's getting to the point now, it's getting into her face, everything, so, you know, it came up to, it's perfect timing, it's a great thing. She's excited about it, she understands what she's doing, so that's very important. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing a new Dora the Explorer look.
Are you going to miss your long hair, do you think?
No.
No. With help from Hennessy Salon in Richmond, Wigs for Kids received over 27 feet of hair, thanks to participation from the community last year.
Make sure that we have 8 inches or longer when you cut it off. That way we can make sure that we can make a wig.
We're in an industry where we understand hair and how important it is and how it makes a person feel. And we understand that children, when they go through this, it must be very devastating for them.
Okay, ready?
There's your hair.
Wow.
Who are you? I don't recognise you with your short hair.
The second annual Hennessy Cut-a-thon happens at the end of the month.
If you want to donate your hair, it's 8 inches long and chemically untreated. If you can't get a haircut, you can come out and pledge them. We're also having a coin drive that day, so if you've got a jar of pennies that you don't want to roll, bring them out.
For Ashka and her family, giving a sick child a sense of normalcy was the real gift. Ashka, do you like your new haircut?
Yes.
All right, Dad, what'd you think?
Fantastic, it looks great. I'd just like to thank everyone here for doing such a great job and making it look so pretty.
There we go.
Well done, baby.
Yay! No haircut. In Richmond, I'm Melanie Pineda for The Express.
Over the last 5 years, Wigs for Kids has raised over $300,000. And you can be part of raising more money in the future. They're holding a Wigs for Kids cut-a-thon at Hennessy Salon in Richmond Centre on January the 30th. You're watching The Express, and we have more local stories from your community up next. Up next on The Express.
The team has had more than its share of ups and downs, from season-ending injuries to the longest losing streak since 2005.
Hockey Talk and the Giants Report. Charlie Brown at Little Surrey Theatre. The Express. This is your local voice.
With a heart such as yours, you could open any door.